Hey guys, so we're going to be doing another deck guide today. This time it's over U-White Control. This deck is pretty much, I think, one for one Chris Karavek's list. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but you guys probably know him. He just started to stream on Twitch. Really good Magic player, MLP, like his top aided in some events and such. Very awesome dude. Chilled out in his stream for a little while, answers questions and gives his thoughts and everything. Just really like his content, so I recommend checking him out. But this is his list, and I believe that someone in chat said that he was top 1 mythic for a little while with it, so I think this is what he used to grind to get to mythic and then to climb the ranks a little bit. So it has some credentials, basically, this list does already. I'm basically going to go over how to play the deck, what the certain cards are for, the best to my knowledge, like why Chris has included certain things and foregone other ones. And then we're going to be showing you guys some gameplay. So if you just want the gameplay and you just want to export the list, there'll be a timestamp down below, so you can click and it'll jump to the playtime. We actually get to play against Lurrus, the Rakdos list that's really, really popular. So if it's definitely against another meta list, which is nice. And then the exportable list will also be down below, so you can check that out as well if you just want to click that, export the list, etc. And there you go. And then we'll also be going over like good matchups, bad matchups, what the sideboard's for, pretty much just cover everything. That's what we usually do with the deck guide. So let's jump into how the deck functions first. So what does it do? This deck uses Censor, Search. Those are basically your early game cards. So you want to keep hands with Censor, Azcanta, and Baffling End usually, especially if you see that Lurrus on the other side. Definitely want to prioritize this Baffling End, all right? You'll also notice the Kahira here. This is basically just a free 3/2. You do have to pay 3 mana to put into your hand. Now, this is a lot more versatile and a lot better than you'd think. This can not only wall off a lot of creature decks after, turn 6 or 7, it can be your win condition sometimes. Like, it can help. You play it as a 3/2, it has Vigilance, so you just swing in with it each turn. And if the opponents have like 2/1/1s, a 2/2, etc., they have to trade with you, which can be pretty stressful for them. Or double block you or something. So it just puts a lot of pressure on the opponents, and doesn't really limit what we want to do, because we don't really want to sideboard, a cat, an elemental, nightmare, etc. Like, these creatures don't matter to us, so this is just free real estate. It's fine. You can also use it to tech against like Crocs, the I think it's spelled. Oh yeah, because of the companion rule, right? So yeah, I did have it right. Crocs, the Titan of Death's Hunger. So instead of losing 3 life, if you want to gain 3 life or not go down life, basically, you can put this into your hand to discard 2 this if you know what your opponent's up to. So there's that. Just a little bit of tech. What else does the deck do, though? So you've got Narsets to wall off like Krasis, to wall off, anyone that's trying to draw extra cards here and there. This helps a bit, lock them down. This shuts off Village Rites, which is huge in this Rakdos matchup. It's just really nice to have this main deck. Absorb, just life gain and a counter spell. It's great. 3 cast outs, which I was a little hesitant on, to be honest with you. But the fact that you can cycle it super early for 1 white mana, like you can keep 2 mana hands with like Censor plus a cast out, because you can cycle twice, and that feeds into your Azcanta game 1, which is nice. You can just kind of chill out and do that. So it's just nice to have this option to fill up Azcanta, and also to like exile this guy, exile Lurrus, because they can't do anything with enchantments. The Rakdos players can't. There's no way. Even if they have the card that's like sacrifice, target player sacrifices an enchantment, you can just sacrifice like a Baffling End and they get like a 3/3, which isn't a big deal, if they end up sideboarding that end. You don't have to worry about it game 1 though. 1 Settle, which can catch people off guard, 4 Wraths, 4 Teferis, 4 Shark Typhoons. So these are your primary win cons. Shark Typhoon's your main one though. Like, Teferi's nice, but mostly he's just card advantage. You can get the searches here. rolling with double searches, etc. It's just the deck flows really well, and that's the idea. You can cycle the Shark Typhoons early also if you need to get a land drop. Since you run 4 of them, you're even allowed to cycle these for like 0, 1, 2, whatever you need to fill out that early game curve. Just do it and get rolling. The one of vetoes here is just to like catch out Nissas and stuff, I think, which is pretty good. And that's pretty much the list. I tweaked the lands a little bit. There was a Field of the Ruin and like a couple extra basic lands, I believe, here. And I ended up cutting the Field of Ruin and 1 basic for an extra castle and an extra castle. This is so we can have another win con, potentially, something to block creatures up with. And then this just gets the deck rolling after we get our land drops. So there are 26 lands here. So, you know, there's that. I personally like a little bit more, but with censors, I've begun to not hate this. Also, we have irrigated farmlands. If you're on a budget, you can use the Jeskai lands, but these are pretty worth it if you're just going to stick in Historic with this type of a list, or with Bant or something else where you're going to use that land anyway. Lands are pretty safe. And there's not really a lot of other new cards aside from Censor, but Censor makes a huge difference. So what are like the good matchups, bad matchups, stuff like that? I would say that Rakdos is pretty even, if not a little bit favored in our side of things, just because we have a really decent sideboard against them. We'll break into the sideboard, but basically if you have Rest in Peace, you destroy the Rakdos list. They can't win once you resolve this for the most part. Now, the trick about that is to not necessarily keep the Rest in Peace in your starting hand, because you risk them thought seizing it. You have to like rip this off the top, okay? Most of the time. You can keep it in your opening hand. It's just like a little risky since we don't have any options to get it back from the graveyard for the most part. But yeah, just Baffling End, Censors, like we can almost get there game 1 sometimes. And then the fact that we can put up the game 1 is pretty nice on top of pressuring them heavily on games 2 and 3. It's just really, really decent. We have a lot of good answers, a lot of good life gain. It's just a nice matchup for us. I would say most other control lists are pretty even too. Like, I wouldn't say that we're favored, but like Thoughtseize with Grixis or Thoughtseize and Esper kind of wrecks us sometimes. It just depends on who draws what when, which is kind of dumb to say, but it's like it boils down to who sees their sideboard options, who sideboarded really well. Like if they bring in stuff like Scarab God or other creatures that can really pressure us, etc., and we didn't really foresee needing the Grafdigger's Cage, that can be an issue. But most of the time we can kind of grind out the control matchup and have a pretty decent matchup, I would say, no matter what the colors for the control are. Bant can be a little tricky because they ramp, but usually with a veto or two, you can just veto the Nissa. The card that counters us the most, probably Ulamog. So that Simic ramp list that you see on the ladder, just like jamming cards, ramping, and then they go like Nissa, you counter the Nissa, the next turn they go like Ulamog, and then they go Ulamog. It's just, you can't keep up with it and you just lose. We don't have anything like Tail's End to stop the Ulamog trigger, or when I was running other control lists, I was running stuff like Glorious End, where you can end the stack and end the turn and boop. That's kind of nice, but I don't think it really warrants sideboard options or the extra color for red yet. So you don't really... That matchup's tough, so if you don't want to lose to ramp, you might be able to tech something on the sideboard, but it's going to be hard. It's just a really difficult matchup. I'd say that's our hardest matchup. Goblins are pretty not too bad because we can Baffling End them, we can slow them down. Just make sure you take care of their mana engine early game. Even if they have like a haste creature, sometimes it's better to Baffling End the Prospector so they can't just cheat out the Muxus early. And then you do have Grafdiggers and extra Baffling End in the sideboard and timely reinforcements to kind of stall that matchup, so it's not too bad. Goblins are also less popular than they are in Best of 1, but when I was testing this deck in Best of 1 just to get used to the flow of it, we did pretty okay-ish against Goblins. But in theory, we should do okay with our life gain and such, and being able to stop the Muxus every time, it's really nice. That and we run like 4 Wraths, so it's not terrible. Usually like to have Clarion against that, but we take what we can get, you know, with these colors. Jund, any type of Citadel list we do pretty good against, just because we can cast out a lot of their engines. They will sometimes bring in Cinder Vines, and that's hard to deal with, but other than that, we beat that deck pretty often. I personally teched one of the Heliod's here. I can't remember what I cut from the sideboard. Chris has been rotating between 3 Rest in Peace and 3 Grafdiggers. I don't have the 3rd Rest in Peace, and I don't really want to spend the wild card on it since it's a little niche. But you can go 3 and 3 or 2 and 1 like I have here, or just use the Grafdiggers. Rest in Peace, the reason why this is good is because they can't bedevil it, and they can't abrade it. That just stays on the field unless they thought erasure it from your hand. Otherwise, you just win with this card. That's why it's good. But it's less useful against like Muxus and such. Like we can't bring in the Grafdiggers against Muxus, for example, as much with this type of a number split. But I'm not sure what else I sacrificed. I think it might have been 1 Dispute or something else minor to make room for the Heliod's, just so we could deal with like multiple Trail of Crumbs, that type of stuff, because I feel like that's good. But even main deck, we can like absorb the Citadel sometimes or cast it out or whatever. Like it's not too terrible. It's just that the Citadel isn't as weak to Rest in Peace as it is to Grafdiggers, but you still probably bring in Rest in Peace anyway. But that matchup's pretty, like, I'd say it's slightly favored for us, depending on how many Thought Erasures our opponent, or Thought Seizes our opponent has, basically. So it's kind of there. I don't know what else is in the meta right now. That's off the top of my head. I just kind of woke up, so I'm still getting the cogs spinning. But if you guys have any questions about matchups that I didn't mention, like maybe a deck got popular overnight that I don't know about yet, feel free to toss those in the comments below, and I'll try to answer how I think the matchups would be based on, you know, their list and such. In regards to actual sideboarding, we'll go over the sideboarding, then we'll jump into the gameplay here. Whenever you bring in Rest in Peace, this is the biggest part about the deck. Like, this is the most important part about the sideboard. Whenever you bring in Rest in Peace, you sideboard out your Azcantas, because these are useless if you don't have a graveyard. And a lot of the time when you're bringing in Rest in Peace, you don't really need to grind the matchup out. Sorry about that. It's a little bit of a tongue twister for no reason. You just use Teferi and Shark Typhoon and just kind of win. And then Narset usually does quite a good job of giving you card advantage anyway, while turning the opponent's card advantage off. I'm losing my voice. Okay, there we go. Maybe. Disdainfuls for like Nissa decks, anything that's going over the top. Questing Beast, etc. It's not too bad against that. And Planeswalkers. Veto is good against Nissa. The problem is, like, a lot of those ramp lists will tuck in the Ulamog, and that's a tough matchup. But that's the main thing about the sideboard, is whenever you bring in Rest in Peace for Rakdos or something else, you take out your searches. That's pretty much the sideboard guide. Everything else pretty much comes naturally. Disputes for control, for ramp, etc. You can even dispute a growth spiral if you need to early game, etc. to slow them down. It's just kind of nice. And timely reinforcements is mostly for like mono red, burn, etc. It's not really, I haven't been sideboarding this in against Rakdos, like the Lurrus list, too much, because usually speaking, typically speaking, we have the absorb for life gain, and that's usually enough. So I've been getting by with that, basically. So yeah, I think that's it. So just grind out games, get Shark Typhoon rolling, and that's pretty much the deck. So with that being said, we'll jump into the gameplay, and hopefully you guys can enjoy that matchup. This is really weak versus a Thought Erasure, but I think, Thought, what am I trying to say? Thought Seize. There we go. Whew. Yeah, I'm already getting affected by the Thought Seize, man. Them resolving the Arcanist could be very problematic, so I'd like to keep a Censor open here, I think. And just cycle the Shark Typhoon. I'm gonna get rid of a land here. I'm gonna cycle the Shark Typhoon since it costs more to cycle, and I still might have use for the Censor. Second here. So we could Narset here. We could Narset. What's that open my opponent up to? Like, they won't be able to use Village Rites, but they might not be able to do that anyway. They're probably just jamming Arcanist next turn. So I think developing this and keeping the mana open for the Censor cycle is probably fine as well. Young Pyromancer, that's fine. We'll throw that away. They probably just have Village Rites here, which they don't want to cast because then they wouldn't be able to sacrifice something worthwhile. I think we try to nab this. They can Village Rites this and it's fine. Or they could have a kill spell for this, like a Braid. Shock, yeah, that's fine. We still have to make them commit, though. Okay. Now, if they have Thoughtseize here, it's really, really tough. Village Rites, oof. Okay. Well, we get to flip Azcanta, which is very big. Wrath off the top. Nice. I think we do that, right? Just to take away the pressure here. If you guys want lessons on that, like the Wrath off the top stuff, I do coaching. So I got you. Got you. Okay. Now we lose Narset, and then we just need another Baffling End off the top. That works. We take those. We'll just -3 this here. If they have the Shock, it's whatever, you know? They don't have any targets for Lurrus right now. What's my hourly? I don't know. I didn't really have a follow-up. I didn't think anyone would want it. That's pretty decent. We'll draw here. Okay, so we get a land. That's not bad. I mean, Arcanist isn't too bad until they do something. So I think what I can do is I can Azcanta, grab the Absorb, and then untap, and hold up the Absorb here. I also have the cast. That's fine. We have to let that go. There's no way we fight for that. And they can shock me, and that's fine. They don't do it though. They want to save it for like Teferi or something else. Good Horde Arcanist. Could absorb that, or I could look for a Wrath here. I think looking for a Wrath is probably better. Okay, yeah, definitely better. Go Wrath here, please. And we have the Absorb for Lurrus, which is super great. And they already know about it as well. Honestly, perfect. Yep. We can protect ourselves against discard by using Kahira here, I think. We can still hold up the absorb. Just grind it out then. Nice. I don't think we lose this game. We're just waiting on like a Shark Typhoon to pressure now and we're fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's a good one because then they can fill their graveyard for the dude bro here. Yeah, I just have more mana. I can grind up more cards. Like this, I'm under no pressure right now. I even absorb this guy, I'm pretty sure. And I can still Azcanta too. And this is just giving me life points. Yep, I'm just chilling, you know? Just chilling, dude. They go face. Nice. Lurrus. I think I just absorbed this. Okay, nice. That's pretty much game, I think. And now that I have, this could be a little dangerous because it gives them something to claim, but I'm okay with it. Heartless Act, that's fine. We let that go all day. That's more than okay. Now I can go like this. They can kill this now. Village Rights? Yeah, I don't care about that. Where? Pick up the Shark Typhoon here so we can win the game. Yeah, we could just Baffling End the Croxa, it's true. It's just that I didn't really want to discard a card, I guess, but now we do, now we do. We don't have to necessarily absorb since we have a land to pitch, I see what you're saying. Unless they give it haste, and then that's pretty annoying, because then they can just kill Teferi, like if they have the other card there. But, I mean, we also have the cast out that we could use on it if they go to give it haste. That'd just be the difference, right? Young Pyromancer is fine. We just look for another Wrath, honestly. Yep. I don't think we really need another proc of the Azcanta right now. Like, we have a counter spell, and I could also do some other stuff. Like, we're pretty okay. Yeah, rework did ruin some of them completely, for sure. I'm pretty happy with the rebalance overall, but it's kind of sad because stuff like Kurega that was kind of balanced. What can they do here? Exile this. Yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense. This list feels really good. I mean, I know it's just my first playthrough with it, but still. I just don't want to tap out all the way when I could have like absorb plus like a sensor draw or something else, you know? Like I think we're pretty okay. We get Teferi ulting off next turn if we need it. C's. Fine. Yeah, that's pretty much the feel for sure. So we bring in Rip, we take out Search, I think. Bring in Baffling End, bring in Cage. Essence Scatter can stay, and our set can trim by 1. See, I don't know what the trims are here either. Maybe Birth, but Birth is still pretty okay, I think. Maybe Veto out? Maybe it's Veto that comes out. Maybe we trim 1 Absorb because it's really slow. We'd rather have things that, like, I mean, I guess the life gain's good. This is also decent. I think this is mostly for Gobos and stuff, though, and other types of aggro lists, but I'm not really sure. Tough to say. I haven't seen this deck played enough, so I don't know what the sideboard process is like. I just know that I want Rip and Cage. Veto is bad here. Yeah, I trimmed Veto. I think I'm supposed to make room for Timely potentially, but I'm not sure. Depends on how fast they want to go. And it doesn't block everything, it's just good against Pyromancers, but it is a sorcery speed card, so... This looks okay. It's not fantastic. We might want to try to... There's like some merit to not mulling for Rip because of this. Like, because now they can grab Absorb, they can grab Wrath, whatever, but they don't get my sideboard card. Right? And they probably Arcanist, since they think it's safe. Crocs, okay. Get rid of, like, Shark Typhoon here, probably. So I kind of want to keep my lands for a second. Yeah, they take probably a Baffling End. They might take Wrath just to get the different card out, but a close call, I would say. They're almost out of gas. Thoughtseize, okay. And they almost have enough to Kronks here, which is insane. Cast out's decent. Yeah, I think we're just putting this into our hand, honestly. It's just I'm used to shuffling cards IRL. It's not really a it might be a bit of a nervous tick, potentially. I just like to keep my hands busy. I've been meaning to try to switch to the cards themselves because I know it can be a little visually disorienting for people, like watching the stream. So... Could go Kahira, I guess, here, just to get it out. Because then I have something to block with, which is nice. It makes it so it's not so free. I'd say it's part of the thinking process, though, just like moving my hands a bit. Flame. Okay. Don't know if that was correct. was correct, team. Vantress should help smooth things out, though. It's just that we have to also, like... Okay, so we'll go ahead and do this, then. Try to smooth out our draws a little bit more. Kind of just want rip, dude. Honestly. Oh, this has vigilance. Why am I not swinging with it? I guess because then they can, like, get value off of that. But still, like, I don't mind a 5/5 if I just wrath it anyway. It's also our win condition, dude. Look at this. We're smashing with it. This 3/2. Now that I figured out that it has a keyword called vigilance. Oh, it's great. Get rid of Wrath here. Flash this in against this just to get it off the table and to use my mana. And we'll see what happens here off the draw. Just chill. The hero is so cool, dude. The starting deck imply game 1. I don't know what that means. Starting deck, this, or what? Yes. Well, no, like if you board something and you're not able to cast them either. Honestly, in our set doesn't seem terrible for a draw. Could get us rip, for example. They have Village Rites open. So they're gonna, in response, Village Rites, which is fine. You can kind of grab something off this and then make a judgment call here. Just gonna take them off of extra creatures here. I think this is still correct. Then I wouldn't be able to cast the Kihira from the sideboard. I'd have to main deck the Kihira, basically. At that point, if I really wanted to use it for some reason. Or like a Brazen Borrower or something, if I wanted that for my sideboard card. Yes, yep. Exactly, yep. Good way to phrase it. Okay, that's fine. They don't want to... So they have a shock, probably? I would guess. They do have a response here, so it's probably Village Rites. Oh, the Fabled Passage could also be it, but I can just Ardent Veil and block this, so... And they can't Village Rites right now, which is the most important thing to consider. I think this is pretty important to protect right now. Just chilling. We just chilling right now. Yeah. It does in fact happen. So now we could cast that out, but it's a little rough. They can give it haste. That's fine, I guess.
Yeah, I can just cast down the token. Or cast out the token, I should say. Cast down is a little different. And we found the cage. So now no more Lurrus. Means that it wrecks your stipulation for that stuff, I guess. We'll go ahead and scry here. Don't want either of those, I don't think. It takes 5 lands total, right? Yeah, so we can just Wrath here. And just chill, I think. So I can do this scry beforehand. I like keeping the cast out just in case, but we do need to win con eventually. Then I'll go ahead and censor cycle. Okay, still fine. We need like a Shark Typhoon then to finish this game up, because we can finish the game with Shark Typhoon for sure. Oh, that's fine. Thing doesn't matter too much. Scry censor again, probably. I mean, I think this is hilarious, but I don't think it's great. It's just kind of funny. So I want to keep it okay. We'll keep this land in hand just in case they have a discard before combat type deal. Like so. We have big brains. They can't cast from the graveyard, so it doesn't matter if they swing with this or not. Helps thin their deck. Ooh. Okay. That was a really good top keck for us. And we'll keep that just to discard two Crocs when it comes back here. But you're sure. You got it, boss. We've already defeated the Lurrus, so it's like Call of the Death Dweller, and that's about it. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Yeah, they can just bring the next one. They do that, we can just tuck it with Teferi though. It's not too big of a deal. Tuck Teferi, block this with a token. Yeah. We are pretty lit on life points though. Yeah, we'll just tuck this. Go. This is 5 mana, 1/2. I think we might actually mill over their Crocs here, which is hilarious. It's not going to work though because of Nursat. Then we just have the Absorb here, and that should nail the coffin shut for a second. Like, this just gains us 3 life instead of losing it, basically. Yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, we had perfect control over the game. Our draws were really good. That was fun, Andy says. Yeah. Yeah, Lurrus could be a few decks for sure. Yeah, I had a really good set of cards there for the most part. This list is definitely. Do you want to go again? We can if you want to. Okay, I want to. Because I'm down for testing this list. Grafdiggers and Ashiok, yeah. I do like Ashiok as a tech. I feel like there's probably some variant of like a deck that you could do like Reanimator that would self-mill but also like mill your opponent's cards out. This looks okay for starting deck. That's a rough mull. They're probably just aggressively mulliganing for like Arcanist Thought Seize though, which is understandable. Like, you need those cards to beat you white. Stitchers, okay. Or just like any one drop, honestly, is also probably what they're looking for. Yeah, we just chill, I guess. We don't blow Baffling End on that. Even if they're gonna Thought Seize it. We'd rather have to make them make a decision between cards. So we could keep Censor open here. Alternatively, we can go Baffling End and then cycle Censor. Censor's not really going to stop much. And this dies to Shock. So... I guess just to slow them down, I'd like to Baffling End this thing. And then hold up the Censor cycle. Keep the deck rolling. Young Pyromancer again, okay. Go ahead and cycle this. Draw. Draw. Track this probably for blue. I would say maybe white, but blue's probably fine. So if we don't Wrath here, we're taking some damage. If we do Wrath here, it might be a little preemptive. We could just put Kihira in our hand to have a card to discard to Crocs. But it's a little sketchy just letting them run the table with that stuff with like Village Rites and whatnot. It'd be very, very rough. I think maybe doing this is fine though. They don't have Village Rites, otherwise they would have gotten priority, so they would have had to have drawn into it. It's also a good turn for them to put Lurrus into their hand for sure. Flame? Oh, rough, dude. Okay. I think we have to Wrath here. We just take too much damage. And now they get to Lurrus and play Pyromancer probably again. I would say would be the play. They're in a pretty good spot. They also have, oh, I guess they can get Baffling End now if they want. Hand's pretty ripped. Yep. Because then we have to like tuck the Lurrus, which is a little harder on us. Not as easy. Lurrus. And they get Stitchers, which is fine. It kills Teferi, basically, is what that card does. And if we don't kill Teferi, or we don't kill that, it's pretty rough too. We can +1 the Teferi. This is going to have haste, though, potentially, if they hit a land, right? Because it's 4, 5, 6 mana total. So 4 or 5, yeah, if they hit a land, then it's rough. Good in our set for a baffling end, but the chances are pretty slim at 2%. I could baffling end and then play Kahira, I guess. Our set first, see what happens. Cast out's pretty okay. And I can just play Kahira. You have Black Lotus? Dude. That's so cool. It's crazy, honestly. Red Horde Arcanist, okay. Then they can give that haste and then shock my dude down before I can block, which is fine. So we lose our board state, but we still have... We force them to swing at this instead of our life, which is nice. The downside is they can still... Oh, they just go face, wow. I feel like that might be a little greedy, but maybe not. We just need a Wrath now. Okay. Oh, there's that. Veto's actually pretty okay, so they can't give haste to the Crocs. Behind. Now they give this haste, probably. If I draw into a land, the other stuff is good. If I cast this out, I don't really have a blocker. I could wait until combat and then cast out, I guess. It's weak to village rights, but they can't village rights because of the other stuff, so... I think maybe I just say go here and see what happens. We get a land drop, which isn't great. So we just cast out here. And then if they go to respond with village rights, it's whatever. They get to keep their thing in the graveyard, but that's about the only upside. Now they can play this. Then I probably have to discard Shark Typhoon, so I don't take damage. Then I can tuck this and try to get there, basically. That's like the last line of defense, I think. And if they have Thoughtseize, it's whatever. They might have a shock. Yeah, that's fine. About all we can really do, man? Okay. Oof. That's a big oof. Gotta wait until my turn for that. It'll happen to all of us, though. We just make a 1/1 that we can sacrifice, potentially. As much as I don't want to... Enjoying the deck? Yeah. Yeah, it's very smooth. As much as I want to keep this to smooth out my draws, I think this is fine. I'm down to 5. I just need Teferi or a Shark Typhoon here, I think. The Devil. Yeah, that's fine. So now they're able to castle on their main phase if they want to. That's what that means. No, it means that they don't have to deal with me destroying village rights anymore, basically. I mean, I probably just need to swing out right now, anyway. Oh. This is hurting, dude. Because if I discard this, then I lose so much life. Young Pyromancer, alright. Aussies. Now they can bring this out. I don't really have a response to it. I have to top Keck like Wrath, and then I'm still kind of in trouble, because if they get enough of a graveyard down... Gosh. Oh gosh. Wrath! Yikes, dude, that's lethal. No other way, right? No. That was a really close first game. Oof. Maybe it was the plus on the Teferi. I got us there. I don't really like settle against them too much, honestly, because it's weak to, they don't have to swing in with their creatures is the problem. And I think I take out Search because of Grip. And then maybe the Birth, even though I kind of want the wall to block off stuff. I think this is the correct sideboarding for this deck for the most part. I have EDH, dude. That's what I'm shuffling right now. I've got this for my commander. Let's see. I'm not evil. This looks okay-ish. It's a little weak because we don't have a fast land, but it forces them to use the Thoughtseize on Grafdiggers. Kind of nice. And if they have the Bedevil, it's whatever, you know? It's fine. At least it slows them down for a second here. Yeah, I miss just like chilling out with people for sure. Like I definitely miss it a lot. We could jam Narset, I guess. It's a little weak to Bedevil. I think I just keep up counters, honestly. Just kind of chill out for a sec. They can Village Rights here. I don't think I'm allowed to censor that though. We just kind of let them have a little bit of card advantage there. Only wants me to play Force of Will. Yeah. That's rough. Rest. I might as well just absorb that to deny them information. They take Absorb, I think. They take Narset. Okay. So that's telling me that they really want Village Rights. I'm gonna go ahead and cycle the Shark Typhoon for one here. That's fine. That is good and well. Just pass here. Go. 2006, yeah. No, I've got some EDH stuff, but that's about it. That's fine. I'm just gonna Shark Typhoon for one again, just to prevent some, just to keep drawing and going, you know? Try to hit our land drops and such. Unfortunately, we don't hit it this time, but that's okay. We could try to cycle the Censor for it, but I don't think that's worth it by itself. Yeah, so we're gonna cycle Censor now. That's fine. And then we hit a land drop, so that's good. We'll keep up Absorb here. Just chilling. Just chilling. This doesn't really do anything for a while, honestly. Can just scry here instead. No, that was a mistake. Now they can bedevil. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, that's fine. Now you can just get rip off the top. Yep. Yeah. Whew. We'll take one. Card. Unexpected results. Every time. I win this race, actually. Ever. Yeah, ever. Probably just gonna absorb this. Yeah. Yeah, Rip's really hard for them to beat. They have to, like, Thought Seize it, basically. I like the one of Graph Diggers, so I don't have to craft the third, other card there, the Rest in Peace. This is an okay starter. Yeah, Unexpected was like the Yu-Gi-Oh card. Yep, that's fine. They probably get Censor. Censor or Absorb. They can play around Censor most of the time, so. Or they might have two Thought Seizes, and they don't want me to censor the other one, or the Duress. Yep, fine. We can recover from this. Just chilling. Triple C's go, yeah. I'm ready for it. Yeah. Alright. Mirror March. Grumpy cat. You and the emotes. We can have this island. Have this plains. Pictures, okay. I need Rip Dude off the top. Oh my god. It would be strong. Fairy is pretty strong. They're probably gonna take this so they can get more of their graveyard going. Just fine. They'll give me more information as well. Village rights. Okay. So they probably drew into a land there. I think we still need lands on the battlefield is the thing, and I can just discard the Teferi. If they do happen to have discard. Been playing the Lich deck. Nice. There you go. Eukerson. Nice, dude. Nice. Well, now they know I have nothing. Where did my hand go? I don't know, dude. Asking the tough questions here. And we're still holding on. We're definitely top decking though. We took... Oh man, this kind of sucks because this is game 3 though. That is pretty rough. And Rest in Peace is going to be too late now if we draw it for the most part. Pictures, okay. So we need like Baffling End would be okay. Cast Out's alright too. We'll just exile this guy. Now they can do it again. They can crack this and keep this in their graveyard if they want to. And what's up, Doug? How you doing, man? The cast out was pretty good for a top deck. Oh, okay. Pictures again. Come on, just need one more answer to this. Just one more, dude. I need this so I can Rest in Peace them all the way. Whoosh! Still a good card to draw. They're probably going to go Stitchers just to get some more cards in their graveyard for like Crocs and such. That's fine. We can make it, team. That's a tough call. Come on, Rest in Peace one time. One time for the one time. Dude. They're not going to trade here. Oh, that's actually pretty good though. Because then they can get Crocs off that. Oof. They didn't get anything though. That's good. This Pyromancer can't do anything for a minute. Oof. That's a big mood. And they shock in the land, Jesus. No! That's variance, though. That's tough. Oh.
So hopefully you have a better understanding about the deck now. We showed you some gameplay, kind of went over how the deck functions, sideboard, all of that good stuff. And there'll be timestamps, I think, below, at least for the gameplay, if you want to jump back to that. I usually try to do... I'm going to be switching up the YouTube channel a little bit here soon, which will include like a new outro for a new song type thing, which isn't that important to you guys, but means a lot to me. My roommate's been working on some music, and I'm pretty excited to use it. And then we're going to be cutting the videos back to 3 a week, because I feel like my content's been really, really like forced lately. And I would rather just take my time and make decent content, like really good content for those 3 videos a week, like maybe Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or something. I release a video. And they'll all be deck guides, I think, is what I want to push for the most part. I really like doing the viewer deck reviews and stuff, but I'm not really sure if it's the best for YouTube. I'll still probably hold sessions on my stream for that type of stuff. So that way, like, you know, people can come in, ask what I think about their lists, etc. And I can give them a review anyway, because I enjoy doing that. I just don't think it's the best for YouTube. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, if you guys want some more deck guides, in a second here, there'll be an M panel where you can just click on my face, and that will help the channel a lot with the subscriptions. And then you can also check out another video if you'd like. So yeah, thanks for checking out the video, and I will see you guys next time.